initiative. Trust me, I know a little about this and I can't wait to actually know more about it. Let me quickly take you through a couple of something to introduce them, and after that we are definitely going to be diving into the conversation and I'm going to be welcoming my guests. So do pay attention to this before we welcome the guests in the studio.
HP ambassador ya Northwest. Ke joined South Bison ka January. Ke introduced to you Mr. Alex Renga, the CEO. So experience ya ka since ke join us le bakala ka first gore ke join South Bison e le ka gore itse a tlhalositse ka yona le ditšhono tse di leng teng mo teng ja bona gore ke se sene gore ke a se tlhoka ka ntlha gore go South Bison before South Bison ke ne ke sa dire ke ntse fela mo gae. So itse a introduced to yone South Bison ja bona gore ke monyetlo le gore o botlhoka dilo tse tshwantse tse di le mo teng chance e teng ya gore ke ile tšhelete le gore ke ithute le ko pele. So we learned tlhalosetsa ka gore mo South Bison ba bereka ka fourth industry ba ruta ka fourth industrial revolution e be ba re introduce to data printing technology and mo godimo ga mo re na le tshono ya gore ba re register mo HP University re kgone go ithuta mo teng re nne qualified HP technicians. So ke ile ke itumela monyetla o ene ke bona o tla o le mahala be ke bona gore o itse ke tsene mo teng ene ka nako e ona mo teng mo nakong eo ga ntse o na le bone o na le wa itlhophela gore a o batla go nna marketing dealer or o batla go bereka mo technical support, which is ba go ruta tla re gore ga o tsamaya le marketing dealer o tsamaya around o ba di ipatlela di-client o ba rekisetsa o ba ruta ka metšhini ya gago e o e rekisang ba rekisa metšhini ya HP di-printera di-laptop le di-cartridges ba kgona le ga o tsosa le metšhini engwe ya di-brand tse dingwe le diphatse tsa teng ba di rekisa ba di bankanya so wena sa gago o tla mo gola ka commission. So how kry-ile client ya gago wa tsa client ya gago o kwala mo coding fela ko re mmereko wa teng o easy ba go ruta gore go bereke ga ya o dira mmereko wa teng. And then itse ba fetsa go tlhalosa ka one mampela gore ba na le program ya youth empowerment e leng gore ba ira di-youth camp ba bitsa bašwa ba tla go tsena mo ba batla go nna fatshe ba ba ruta ba ba train ba ba ruta ba ba tlhalosetsa fela ka nna ba ntlhaloseditse gore ba bereka yang e ba sala ba ba ruta le ka metšhini e ba fa experience ya gore ha o bereka ka motšhini ha o le o setse o le qualified technician ya HP o tla o bereka mmereko o ntseng yang so that ba ga kgona go itseela tshwetso ya gore ha ba tswa for aba interested mo go registering le go berekeng le company or not. So ke go simologa mo ke tshwetse di-campe di le tharo di-campe ya before ke tshwetse di-campe di le tharo mo Mafikeng di-campe tse ne tse ntse di le teng tshwere campe engwe ko Davidson ko Gauteng engwe ntse re tshwere ko Mpumalanga. So setse re batla go tsweletsa go tshwara di-campe tse re tshware mafelong a farologaneng ha le interested le batla go itse more ka yone South Bison office automation le di-campe tsa bone le ka nna la re founela mo 079 816 9496 079 816 9496 gore le kry-e tshedimosetso e yotlhe e feletseng ya go South Bison e bereka yang le ditšhono tse di leng mo teng ke lebogile. Dumelang bagaetsho Lesego / Lerato HP brand ambassador all the way from Northwest. Ke introduced to South Bison ke Mr. Alex Renga.
The same thing.
Ka January.
All right, there is more of a testimonial of this particular beautiful initiative that we as the listeners of Revival FM are about to hear all about at this point in time. So just make sure if you missed the first details just towards the end of this interview, I'll try if I do have time to just go through it again so that you are able to understand. But I believe the conversation we are about to interact on right now is going to be giving you a clear background of who South Bison Office Automation is, the beginning, the continuation, and the future that involves you therefore. So we are really going to be having a good time right here. Remember, if you want to ask questions, you are more than welcome to do that on 079-964-2182. And we are going to be giving you a chance to call in to really get to interact. In case you can't text, probably you'd be driving, so you can call in when we open up. The call lines are on 053-831-2218. Let me welcome the gentleman in the studio. It seems like I'm the only rose among thorns. I do not know why do they call man thorns, but anyways, it is what it is. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
How are you guys?
Very well, thank you.
You're very well.
Yes,
All right.
very
It seems
well.
like, are you okay? Before off air, you sounded very energetic, and now it's like.
I can't wait to get into it.
Okay,
yeah.
you're even standing. You know, it says a lot about it. Let me just take this opportunity to allow you guys to introduce yourselves to the listeners of Revival FM, and after that, take us through to why do we guys have you in the studio this afternoon. So it can start in no particular order, in whichever way that you want to introduce yourselves, and then we get into the business of the day. I can't wait to dig in.
Right, Alec Granger, CEO of South Bison Office Automation and founder, business established in 2018. I'm a graduate from the UNISA School of Business Leadership. Was a top student in 2013 for my research on small business. That got me a ticket to India and China. After coming back from India and China, at the behest of being in a corporate environment, we came across an opportunity in the print space, and this is what we're here to discuss on where it started and where it's going. So, Alec Granger, the founder.
Thank you so much, Mr. Alec. Over to you, gentlemen.
Okay, my name is Bruce. I'm the warehouse and technical support manager at South Bison. I'm based in Johannesburg at our head office. I come from a very strong technical background. I've been in the automotive field for well over 25 years. And also that's enabled me to travel around the world. I've been to Malaysia, the Range Rover training center with international certification. I've been to Morocco for the Kia. I've been to various centers around the world that specialize like in Iveco trucks, Kia vehicles, and stuff like that. Yeah. So when I first came to South Bison, 2018, when it was founded, so I instantly headed the technical department because of my technical background. So for me, it was like a duck to water. It was so easy to just to adapt to this new tech. I'd never really worked on printers, but it was so easy for me. It's so simple. So yeah, I do head the training and induction of the youth. So basically that's it. Of course, later on I'll give you a more detailed analysis of the work that I do.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Bruce. Over to you, sir.
Goeiemiddag aan almal. My naam is Michael Blom. Oorspronklik van Jankamp. Ek is die bemarkingsagent vir South Bison Office Automation. Vir my is 'n groot voorreg om hier te wees. Eerstens wil ek die Here sê dankie vir hierdie geleentheid weer eens. Aan God al die eer en aan alle jong mense wat luister. Ek glo hier is weer eens 'n geleentheid vir een en elkeen van julle, ongeag die ouderdom, want ons leer nog steeds op 'n daglikse basis. Of ons nou klaar is met skool, universiteit, by die skool, by die crash, leer ons nog steeds. So ek glo hierdie as weer eens 'n geleentheid, daar waar COVID meeste van die geleentheid gevat het. Ek glo hier is weer eens 'n geleentheid vir die res van die Noord-Kaap. Ek is bly ek verteenwoordig die Noord-Kaap weer eens hier in Kimberley. Julle gaan verder hoor soos ons gaan aangaan. Ek glo hou die ore oop en luister. Sit die verander die radiostasies na Revival FM. Julle sal nie spyt wees nie. Dankie.
Thank you, Michael. God bless you. Thank you so much for that lovely introduction. I love the balance in language right over there. I'm busy widening my eyes like, okay, what is Michael saying right now? But anyways, I heard here and there, but all is well. Very balanced. Our listeners clearly understand that. Let us get into business. I believe this is an opportunity of a lifetime to most young people, and we can't wait to hear where it all started. What is it that you guys are actually doing?
Okay, so I'll just go back to where I was. So after coming back from overseas, I witnessed a couple of things that really woke me up. The first one was in China. Just from a hygiene perspective, very different from South Africa. I go to India and I find that I go into the slums and I find a lot of people in a shack trying to get education. And they tell me the young people graduate with a master's degree, they're 23. They have to leave India and go to America to get a job.
Sure.
Okay, so I come back, I look back home and I say, well, we've got the infrastructure, we've got everything, but something's missing here. And one of the things that alerted me was I had a cousin that was staying in Rudapon. He was working for an old gentleman supplying schools with stationery. So unfortunately, this gentleman passed away, and all of a sudden, my cousin was getting calls for all sorts of things from schools, right? So at that time, I left my corporate job. I was heading up transformation. So I'm also a certified BE practitioner. I have a triple B MDP with UNISA. So I understand exactly what the government's trying to achieve in terms of economic inclusion of disadvantaged communities.
Okay.
So this inquiry from a school for some ink was my first encounter with this printing space. They needed some ink. They were writing exams the next day, and they wanted the ink to be supplied. The traditional supplier was unable to supply for some reason, right? So I went on Google, I checked for the ink, I got a price for the ink, I did a quotation with a decent profit. I was coming from Gauteng to deliver to Madipalesa village out here, and I was making a decent profit. I thought, let me do this. But I think when I got to the school, first thing I observed was that there's a group of people. The one is being the principal, the other ones being SGB members, school governing body members. First thing they said to me, thank you, sir, for bringing ink, because we're writing exams tomorrow. And if you hadn't, we're going to print overnight. If you hadn't done this, our exams would have been compromised.
Sure.
So I felt kind of special because I was delivering ink for young people. I mean, I'd never thought of that, right? So they mentioned to me, they said, well, actually, there's a bigger problem because we remote and we only have two options as a school when it comes to printing. The first one is to rent machines. The second one is to buy the machine. If we're renting, I've come across schools that pay up to R1 a copy. So imagine a school with a 2,000 capacity. The amount of printing, the highest cost I've seen was up in Uppington area, where this school is a remote school. They have 2,000 learners. They're at R1 a copy, and they're costing them R2.5 million a year to print for learners.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's going too fast. Let me backtrack. So I'm in front of these people and they're telling me, well, there's problems. The first problem is the cost if we rent. The second problem, if we buy a machine and it breaks down, there's nobody that can fix it. We've got to phone a guy from Kimberley, and he's got to come out at a call-out fee. And just talking about that, most remote areas are getting support from a central point, which is in some cases up to 200 to 300 kilometers away, meaning that it's not efficient looking at the number of schools and the demand for print support. So that got my attention. The next thing that got my attention, they showed me in different classrooms where they've got machines that are just stuck, supposedly not working. And they look new to me, but they're not working, and they'd be waiting 2 to 3 weeks for a technician to come through, right? So I said, okay, this is where I use my education, and I'm a product of the system. I'm a product of the system. I got my master's degree not because I'm privileged, but because the organization I work for supported me under skills development. So I took advantage of that. Right?
All right.
So I'm looking at these issues, and I'm like, okay, the next issue I'm seeing is when I look at the devices, most of them are analog devices. So there's been no transition to digital within the education space. There might be in privileged schools, yes, but if you look at rural schools, township schools, absolutely not. Okay. So that touched me a bit. The next thing that touched me was as I left the village, I was reminded of the time when I was young, because my mom made sure that every holiday I went to see my grandmother in the rurals, and that meant waking up early, milk the cows, take them out, all that kind of stuff. So it took me back there, and I started realizing something. I said to myself, what opportunities do these young people have? These young people finish matric, and the next day they're surrounded by the village and the bush. They might have passed with the best pass, but the next option would be, let's leave the village and go to town. You get to town, matric is not enough, you don't have a skill.
Sure.
So that got to me. So the first thing I done was I said, let me just spend another night here. I need to visit 10 more schools and ask the question. And I quickly learned that the trade of printing and its supplies is a massive business. And the biggest customers for this are township and rural schools because of the enrollment.
Wow.
But this is controlled by a group of people that have done it since I was in school. Who am I to challenge that, right? So I decided, let me approach these people and see whether I can at least learn how to fix and try and help in some way. And I quickly learned that it's a closed skill that comes at a cost. It's not available for anybody outside of that case. So the way it works is simple. If you can supply a machine to any customer, your money is not in the sale of the machine, but it's in the consumable, which is the powder that makes the printing happen.
Okay.
So young people out there, this is how simple it is, right? If you can understand how to take this machine apart, no screwdrivers involved, and if you can learn how to assemble it, which is what we do at our youth camps, right? And you can get access to certification, you can be on the go immediately.
Yeah.
And the reason why, after my research, the findings were quite clear in terms of what needed to be done in terms of those gaps. Support was critical. Digitization, fourth industrial revolution technology was important because that's the future. And I'm saying to young people, who would be the better driver of the future technologies than the young people?
Sure.
Currently, they are economically excluded. So South Bison is all about creating a platform where young people can plug into 4IR digital print technology and grow. As we move from paper to paperless, they're in that community. Okay, so that's how it works. So my research was very clear. So based on the research, I first engaged with the current role players. I found that we excluded, that's fine. So we went on a big mission of supplying cartridges for any brand. So I'm saying again, another opportunity arising from this is the fact that with South Bison, you have access to supplying cartridges for any printer.
Sure.
Right. It's all about cost. Fortunately for us, the cost has been pushed high, so customers are paying too much for printing. Example I'll give you just at a high level. The devices we supply are running as low as 9 cents a copy. So if you have a photocopy shop charging R2, you're making lots of money. So there's lots of room for role plays in between.
Okay.
So cost savings is one of the key things we look at in terms of print infrastructure that's established. We then look at the efficiency of the devices in place. So for example, I'll go to a school and I find that, well, they're running old technology. We analyze the running cost. If that running cost is higher than the purchase of an HP 4-hour device, we encourage the clients to purchase it. The benefit being that if they purchase the machine, it stimulates local economic empowerment for youth in that community because they need a practical, there's no question about it. Once the machine is installed at our installations, we do a complete tear down of the machine so the youth understand how this device works. Once they understand, the excitement is incredible. If you look at our YouTube channel, what gets to me, this is really not about chasing after money. I think we will make money, everybody in the community, but it's about the social impact and the transfer of skills to ensure that the school system is well supported from a technical perspective by a local youth coming from the same system.
Sure.
So South Bison with HP are all about community and about mobilizing young people to look this direction. You might think that you finished school and you're stuck on drugs, whatever it is. We've got a couple of people on our program that explain that the reason why we're on drugs is because we don't have anything to do. There's the traditional become a mechanic, all the stuff, but the future is technology. And we're saying that if you look at Africa, we are the youth of South Africa. We are setting the tone as to how this industry will be revolutionized. And I believe that the youth of South Africa have a major role to play in Africa. Once we get it right in South Africa, we've got to look north. And we say to youth, you might not want to be selling a product, but you might want to be a technician. There's opportunity for you to work with us within Africa in terms of spreading this, because there's youth in Africa that are even worse off, but there's schools. So our conviction is more about the schools are paying already, right? They're paying for the service. So we're not asking for a favor. We're saying, first of all, schools, we can save you money. Secondly, we can empower our own young people from our communities. Now, I think our strength above everything else is our diversity. We have Tsonga people. We have people from Venda. We have Northern Cape. We've got dealers around Northern Cape, Northwest, all over. If you look at our community, our diversity is our source of competitive advantage.
Sure.
So we come back, we set up a supply of cartridges. We do very well. The retaliation was that if we put our cartridges into the devices of the existing players, the warranties are null and void. So that kind of stopped us in tracks.
Okay.
So a bit of prayer and guidance from the Lord, which is where this is coming from. My calling is to do this work. Something flashed in my mind, and the Lord said, actually, every office you went to had an HP laptop. I'm like, okay, cool, fine, I'll observe that. That's a good product. So we approach HP. HP tell us they have 80% of the world market in education. I'm like, why? They said the technology. So the acquisition of the Android side for the devices means that you have a tablet type interface on your device, where, for example, You can scan a document, save it to the device, or save it to the cloud, right?
Mhm.
But the main reason we do it is so that you can have a wireless platform where educators don't have to group around a printer anymore. They can print remotely from their offices. And remember, if this is supported by a young person, there's no call-out fee for it. The income for the young person is basically every time that school buys ink, they get a portion of that, right? So we've seen, for example, a device, each device has a specific commission structure. The highest end will be 10,000 Rand on one device for foundation phase for primary schools, device running at a very low cost. There's different commissions for each machine, but beyond the sale of the machine, if the young person decides, I love this technology, I want to build a fleet of machines, they have access to placing these machines and managing them. They don't work for South Bison. South Bison gives them access, support, and training.
Wow.
That's what our role is. So it's a fantastic story supported by a channel on YouTube, because there's a lot of suspicion in this business about Joburg organizations that drop off printers and run away. So you can check us out on YouTube. You'll see over 300 videos of young people from all over the country that are doing this type of work. So
Wow.
it's a tested case. So we said South Bison, we have that obstacle of now cartridges. So we go to HP, they say, well, think about a printer like a car, to simplify it. It has the electrical side and a mechanical side. The electrical side, you don't really have to touch it unless lightning hits it and stuff. So we provide surge protectors for that type of thing. But the part where you get involved is when you need to service your car, right? You need to change the filters, the plugs, the tires, yeah? Printers, very similar. They have pickup rollers that move the paper. They have a fuser unit, which is the engine. Up to a certain number of pages, you, young man, have got to come in there, take the old parts in, put the new parts in. Bob's your uncle. Well, you get money for that, not from the school, from South Bison, because that's your machine, right? So we're building a brand that represents community. This is what this is about.
Sure.
Community means that if I go to Morokweng village, we have a school, Maiketso Secondary School, out there. They have one of our big machines. They were the first to purchase. Now we've probably captured 70% of the schools in that area based on the first installation.
Wow.
All these machines are managed by local people. So what we do also, once the young people come on board, we have a WhatsApp group for each model. If there's an error with the machine, you post it on there. There's enough people that can respond that are using that machine. So it's a learning community.
Sure.
So we've established a range of machines. The first one's being demo machines. This is like that car you test drive around the block. It comes at half the price of a new one. We supply brand new machines. But what HP is saying is that you don't always have to sell a new one, because you just have to service the thing. If you service it, it runs. So we launched a catalog about early 2019, with a specific model. That was an A3 machine with staple function, which was never there. We sold over 60 to 70 in the Northwest. Why? Because, first of all, the device speed was faster. It had staple capability, so the educators don't have to sit on a stack of papers and staple this. We then started launching more models, and we also do something unique. We do trade-ins. So if your HP machine is at the end of life, we trade it in for an upgrade.
Okay.
So that there's no clutter. So we're basically addressing the research findings. So it's not like we are clever people. We've just done research. We understand the dynamics of printing. So to summarize it from my side, I'd say this. I think the most lucrative trade would be a drug trade like cocaine, but it's only for a limited number of people that can afford to use it.
Sure.
I'm saying to young people, that's white powder. Let's get into black powder. That black powder is toner powder that powers all organizations, mines, internet cafes, radio stations, everybody. It has the ability to take care of your livelihood without you moving from where you are.
Sure.
You can go on YouTube, wherever you are, post your stuff, wherever. If you get a customer interested, which there are many, right? Your business has started that day.
Sure.
Because you supply today, next month he needs another one. Yeah? You maintain the relationship, not me. I'm there to give you access. So the more customers you can build around you, and I'm not saying look far, look in your circle. In your circle, there's people printing. Some people take this as a side hustle. That means that, okay, I got a regular job, but I need extra money. And I think the biggest success we've had in the last month is the lady that you heard the audio, Lerato Chabalala from Africa, incredible lady. She's very qualified electrical engineer. She's also done some work with kids, and she couldn't get placed for a job. She came across us, we get involved, and I'll tell you what, the talent we have in our communities, nobody can imagine. She rises She's known as Miss HP in that Northwest province where she is. And she's driven by the right things. So this is not about get rich quickly, guys. Not at all. You're going to build wealth over time. If you give the schools and your customer good service, they will stick with you. The one principal says to me, if you start a relationship with a school, it's alive, it'll outlive you. And I agree with that. So guys, the powder is toner powder. It has lots of money.
Wow.
It's a consumable. It's like filling up your tank. Okay, so that's a bit from me there. Yeah.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Mr. Alec. Wow. That was very capturing and interesting. I'm not sure are the young people well tuned in. I want us to get into the technical support the role that Mr. Bruce plays to make this initiative the success that it is. Mr. Bruce, tell us about your part and what you do in a specific when it comes to this.
Okay, yes, Revival FM listeners, please welcome me as I welcome you. A big part of what we do, actually, like Alec has, I think he's covered a lot of the bases. Okay, we looked at part of our mission statement is to provide print infrastructure, printing service, and IT equipment to the education sector, the health sector, and corporates, and of course the broad spectrum of customers which are out there. You get individuals, you've got lawyers, you've got everybody basically prints in the country. So of course Alec has elaborately indicated how the survey we did. We looked in Taung there when we of course we discovered that there's big gaps in this printing game. And obviously in the rural areas there is established corporate organizations, but they do very little to almost no support of the rural schools, because the road networks going to the rural schools is bad, and they feel insecure, and there's just no support. Like Alec was saying, some schools have to drive 80, 100 kilometers just to go get a printer looked at or to get a cartridge. And so of course then Alec has also explained that we looked at, okay, we can supply cartridges. That was like the first business. Then from there it graduated to supplying actual machines, the various models. Then now, of course, a machine runs, it also needs maintenance. Now, every time there's a breakdown, I had to drive all the way from Joburg, drive all the way 500-600 kilometers. So somebody just pressed the wrong button. It takes me 2 minutes to press a button, and then the machine is up. So we looked at, no, man, let's look at the communities that are there. A lot of matriculants, like he's explained, lying idle, they finish school. I mean, the systems that are there, they absorb a small percentage into the universities. Then, of course, you have technical colleges, FETs, that also absorb a certain a number of learners who have completed a matric. Then the rest are just on Nyaupe, they're on the streets, they're breaking into cars, stealing car radios, they're breaking into your house, they have no plan, basically. So as we were installing more and more machines, because the business grew so exponentially, because the schools were happy with our pricing. Like the machines were supplying our demo models, basically. So it's just like he was explaining. It's a car, like you have demo models which people drive around the block, and then they sell it, of course, sometimes at a third of the price of a new one. So for starters, the schools were happy. And then the pricing also, sometimes it's like 25% the cost of a brand new HP machine. So wow, the orders just kept pouring in and pouring in. So we had to have an initiative to empower the local youths. These printers are so advanced technology. I think HP is more advanced than all the other competitor brand names. So it's more like a cell phone device. If you can use a cell phone device, you can fix a printer. And I tell you, the women actually do better than the men. So most people are intimidated. Like if I say, right, I want you to strip that printer, woof, your heart will be in your throat. You won't even know where to start. But like with HP, it's so simple. Everything is plug and play. You open a door, you just put your hand in there, you press a green tab, and you pull out the component. You take a replacement component, you put it in there. The toner, same thing. You just press a tab, you pull it out, and you put in a new component. All the rollers, all these rollers that drive the papers, All that is just plug and play, plug and play. Basically, it's so very simple. That's okay. We look at first and second level type of skills required to actually attend to a printer. So the first level is like basic hygiene of the machine. You know, in operating environments, there's dust. You know, all this bond paper has a lot of dust. Okay, it's invisible to the eye, it's microscopic, but it accumulates in the machine, and that can affect. And then you also like rural schools, you know, there's no tar roads, there's no paving, there's lots of wind and stuff. So wind, dust gets into the machine. So that now so at first level, the guy responsible for the machine must be able to clean the machine externally. Then internally, the person must be able to clean paper dust and environmental dust. And as well, the next stage on that, they must be able to do a basic service. When the machine is due for a service, there's like components like the fuser, there's ADF rollers, there's pickup rollers, there's separation pads. It's all just, they come in a kit in a box. So the person involved must be able to open, clean, and then pull out the components like I've alluded to earlier, and place all the new components in there. Right? That's first and second. Okay, third and fourth level can be a little bit more complex. Of course, that's why we have all our technical support people, which are based in the communities right where the schools are. We register them on HP University, so they do the course. I tell you, there's over 200 different courses, you know, and the certification you get online is internationally recognized. You become an accredited HP technician. So the opportunity is so great for the young people, and this is all technology based. A lot of the old people, this kind of technology, they struggle with it, you know, find an old principle, the machine is not doing well, this and that. But you just send somebody, I just get there, press 2 buttons, voila, and the machine is working fine, you understand? So they're intimidated. But with the young people, they're dynamic. They're the drive of this fourth industrial revolution. They are able to cope with these things. So at the warehouse, we are like a call center. Schools that have technical problems, we have WhatsApp groups. Like if your machine, the machines are like you know, the BMW vehicles. You get a 316, you get a 318, a 320, a 325, a 328, 330. So the machines are also basically spec'd out with the same sort of sequential number. So we have WhatsApp groups for each. So whatever problem is there, the tech support will post the error code and stuff onto the group. Then we respond. We can, a lot of the times, you know, 90% of the problems experienced out there, first and second level skill, they are able to resolve the problem. Now when it goes to third and fourth, okay, that involves you know, components which are more in depth. You know, you get toner drive, full fuser drive gears. There is like control modules. There's so many other electrical components and cables and boards, motherboards and stuff like that in there. Okay, that it happens, of course, 10-15% of the time we have to uplift the machine. We normally put a replacement machine for the school to continue printing, and then we take the machine back to town, and then within a week, maximum maybe 2 weeks, the machine is back, and then it's up and running. So we are a call center, and then we have a vast a stock holding of cartridges for all, not only just HP machines, but all the other brands. You get Ryko, you get Samsung, you get so many others. So we do keep, so schools will tell us, no, we need 4 masters, we need inks. We package all that, and then we courier it down to the various schools, and then the technical support. So that's basically our function. Then of course also some youth as well. Sometimes we have annual conferences when we select technical support people from all the rural centers. I mean, South Africa, there's like 28,000 schools. So this business is exponential, hey? The established corporates have not really invested much in terms of disseminating information and training to the youth. They prefer to send a technician from Joburg, drive all the way to Taung, charge the school astronomical fees for call-outs, only just to go and replace a part, which a young a 20-year-old youth who has been trained can actually do on his own. So we're plowing back into the community. So that's one of our biggest passions is empowering young. So even I appeal to those in political office. We all know it's an open secret that there's massive unemployment in South Africa, especially amongst the youth. So this, if you could tap in and tie in with us as well, this will really create a big opportunity for the youth in South Africa.
Wow.
Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bruce.
Great.
Thank you very much. Is there something you want to say, sir?
I just want to add, so my vision, the way I look at it, if I look at Kimberley, and we're talking government departments, there's lots of printing happening there, and it's all driven through a specific tender process, and I appreciate that. But what my question is, what impact is that having on the employment of youth?
Sure.
So if we were to switch to an initiative like this, it would open up opportunity for youth. So that's the discussions we're keen on having with role players, saying, well, even if it's a church organization, churches print a lot as well.
Sure.
There's an opportunity for them to go down this way and create opportunity for youth. So it's not something we do for recognition. But I think we partner with communities to make sure that this social impact project actually works.
Sure.
And it works where we find stakeholders come together and we open this box for the young people. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Mr. Alec. May the good Lord bless you. And Mr. Bruce, also thank you very much for just taking us through the technical side of things. Child of God, we are currently now at 28 minutes just before 5 o'clock. We are in a conversation with the South Bison Office Automation, and I'm blown away. I did say it before and I'm saying it again, that this is an amazing initiative that has already and is already changing lives of many young people out there. And I love the heart that carries this particular vision, because it has to do with your little sister, your cousin, your brother, your whomever who's at home getting impacted and their lives being changed. And how do you know, and who knows, what can be birthed out of such a great initiative? We are about to bring to the mic right now Michael, who is one of the young people who are part of this beautiful initiative of the South Bison Office Automation. I would like him to just take us through his particular journey and what did this initiative really change in his life and what it can do for you at home as a young person. Mr. Michael, over to you.
This is to all my local dealers, that are actually the local friends, youth friends that I met at our first conference. So if you are listening there at Bushbuck Ridge, this one is for you, and all the new youth that are gonna join us. This one goes for you. 1, 2, 3. Who are we? South Bison. Who are we? South Bison. Who are we? South Bison.
Wow, okay, what an introduction. Thank you so much.
Middag aan al die Revival FM luisteraars, is Michael hier. Weer eens, ek praat my moederstaal Afrikaans. Ek glo julle nou duidelik verstaan. Afrikaans en Engels, het julle geluister na die CEO Alec Ranger en Bruce Ranger. Ek glo daar waar ons sit, ons het ons op penne gereed, ons het afgeskryf die nommers, die verskillende soorte inligting wat ons nodig het, want as ons net luister en nie neerskryf en bel, gaan ons maar net min ontvang, en op die einde van die dag, dan gaan die geleentheid ons verby. Kom ons wees, my naam is Michael van Young Camp, ek is nou in Kimberley, weer eens verteenwoordig ek die res van die Noordkap. Ek is bly dat ons vir Revival FM wat hulle ons so mooi ontvang het. Ek glo hulle sal geseën word. Kom ons wees die verandering. Daar waar ons nou luister in ons karre by die huise, verskillende soorte afsprake wat ons moet hê, groot afsprake. Baie van ons daar waar ons sit, het 'n rekenaar nodig. Ons het nie net printers nie, maar ons het ook laptops ook. Wat ons verkoop. So kom ons wees die verandering na COVID. Kom ons wees die verandering wat ons wil sien. Deur 'n printer vir u kind, 'n bekostigbare printer te koop vir u kind by die skool, by die universiteit, waar ook al u kind is. Vir u self het 'n rekening nodig wat gereinvent is. Wat goeie wat die nuutste ervaring en tegnologie se dinge het. En kom ons koop die printer vir die kind en wees die verandering, soos ek gesê het, wat ons wil sien. Want As ons die lig skyn vir een persoon, ons kan nie op ons daaglikse basis die hele wêreld verander nie, maar as ons een persoon in een provinsie, as ons verenig, en dit sal ons hier 'n verskil maak aan een en elke persoon se lewens daar buitekant. Kom, ek gaan nie net meer inligting ook gee van wat is South Bison Office Automation alles, wat doen hulle, wat kry ons uit, want ek glo, baie van ons wil nie net gee nie, ons wil ook ten minste iets uitvang, spesiaal in hierdie oomblik waar ons nou invind, na COVID, baie, die petrol is duur, die kos raak duur, ons kan nie, daar's load shedding, ons weet nie seker, ons kyk links, rechts, ons kyk na hulp, links, rechts, maar daar kom geen hulp van geen kant af nie. Maar hier het South Bison gekom vandag, in Kimberley, op Revival FM, het hulle sy deure oopgemaak, hulle het ons 'n geleentheid gegee. So kom ons luister wat het South Bison alles vir ons instoor. South Bison se verantwoordelikheid, wat hulle gee aan hulle kliënte, as oplossings. In elke provinsie, in elke situasie, het South Bison 'n oplossing vir by die skole, by die crash, by die skool. Daar waar ons groot printers, klein printers, laptops wat ons het, daar ons het, South Bison is die verandering nou, wat die land nodig het. Nou, wat het South Bison se verantwoordelikheid vir hulle kliënte? Hulle voorsien ink, op 'n gereelde basis. South Bison voorsien ook dat die printer wat ons koop aanhoudend werk. En nou, dit is die kliëntediens, die verantwoordelikheid wat South Bison gee aan hulle kliënte. As ons betyds ons orders maak aan hulle kliënte, ontvang hulle dit, en die kommissie wat die leerling kry, wat die werk gehad het, die jeug kry, wat die werk gehad het, kry sy kommissie op die regte tyd, sodra die kliënt gelukkig is, kry die jeugdige wat voorsien het, dat daardie skool, of daardie crash, daardie sekere hospitaal, daardie sekere polistasie, daardie sekere universiteit, wanneer hulle gelukkig is met hulle printer, wanneer hulle gelukkig is met hulle ink, dan word daardie sekere jeug betaal. So in julle die jeugdige wat nou luister na ons, u sit in 'n spesifieke werk, nou u het 'n werk, maar nog steeds uit u frustrasies, maar nog steeds, kom ons limit ons nie op daardie een werkie, maar kom ons kyk uit vir nog ander geleenthede. Jy kan nog steeds jou permanente werk hê en nog steeds 'n lewe maak om printers te verkoop, om ink te verkoop vir South Bison. Kom wees deel van South Bison, want wie weet, môre as vir niemand beloof nie. So kom ons gryp die geleentheid nou aan terwyl hier voor ons is. Ek gaan aan, wat is gratis, soos ek gesê het, wat is gratis vir die kliënt by South Bison Office Automation? Daar is geen koste op die kontrakte wat hulle uitteken nie. Daar is geen, in die Engelse woord, no call-out fees. U bel die kantoor in Johannesburg vir 'n sekere order of 'n diens, of om die printer reg te maak, maar daar's geen kostes wat u moet bydra nie. As dit die goeie nuus is, ek glo baie stem saam met my daar waar jy nou is, dit is goeie nuus. En meeste van die ondernemings, glo ek, moet jy betaal vir kostes. So Pick n Pay sê, Pick n Pay, jy moet eers vat, dan moet jy betaal. Verstaan jy? En Shoprite, jy moet gaan koop, maar jy moet geld gaan. As ek reg. So, en kyk na Boxer, jy moet eers woedend is, voor jy kan iets gaan koop. Maar hier by South Bison, kyk die gratis, die gratis voorrade wat hulle het, van hulle kliënte. Nogtans, hulle sê ons local is lekker, maar nog steeds, as ons te samekom, elkeen sy klein lig, maak die wêreld meer ligtiger. So kom, hier is South Bison, die geleentheid is hier voor ons, se deur, kom ons gryp dit aan met albei hande wat ons het. Baie van die mense het die hande vandag nie. Baie mense het een hand, maar ons het twee hande. Met hierdie twee hande kan ons soveel doen. So kom ons gryp hier geleentheid aan vandag, waar julle ook al luister. Soos ek gesê het, daar is jeuggeleenthede, soos die CEO genoem het, So daar waar jy is, ek glo julle se penne, julle se fone, so maak gebruik van hierdie geleentheid. Ek is tans ook nou, ek gee jou weer eens ons landlynnommer is 011 392 1508 en ons die kantoor, ek herhaal die landlyn van die kantoor as 011 392 1508 en die WhatsApp nommer van die onderneming as 072 157 2681. Ek herhaal die WhatsApp nommer as 072 157 2681. Ek is nou nie klaar nie, ek gaan anders nog meer goeie nuus. Ek is nou tans 3 jaar as ek besig as 'n bemarkingsagent vir South Bison. Tydens COVID het HP baie gedoen. Hulle het nie stil gesit, agteroor gesit en gesien hier's 'n krisis hier voor die hande. Die kan nie weer printers verkoop word nie. Hoe gaan hulle se kliënte gelukkig maak? Maar nog steeds HP het nog steeds wêreldwyd 'n verskil gemaak. Oorsee ook, nie net in Suid-Afrika nie. Ek het dit geleer by ons eerste konferens in Johannesburg. So ek het nog steeds daardie ervaring, het ek nog steeds by my en dit wat COVID wat South Bison gedoen het tydens COVID. Van meeste gevalle as 'n krisis gebeur, het meeste mense nie voorsorgmaatreëls nie, maar South Bison het nog steeds HP en nog steeds voorsiening gemaak dat sy kliënte gelukkig is. Dit is wat South Bison is hier. South Bison het gekom met 'n oplossing. So soos ek gesê het, kom ons gryp hierdie oplossing met al twee hande wat ons het. Ek probeer ook dagliks 'n groot verskil maak self in die lewens van die jeugdiges, paar jaar in my lewe, ook in die bejaardes. Ek het 2021 met 'n chaplain van Kleersdorp het ons 2 skole besoek voor hulle se pledge geteken het om 'n verskil vir hulle, om hulle meer te vertel van daar is 'n verandering wat hulle kan maak. Soms kyk ons soms luister ons na ander mense se probleme. Soms veroorsaak ons self probleme in ons eie lewe. Want wat ons sê kan gebeur, maar ons krag lê in ons tonge. As ons self opstaan en sê, ek gaan koop 'n printer, ek gaan seker maak, ek gaan nou daai pen vat, ek gaan daai inligting skryf, ek gaan vir South Bison vra, kan julle my help asseblief? Die hoofde wat nou luister, die direkteure wat nou luister by die hospitale, oral waar jy luister. Ek glo julle kan 'n verskil maak waar jy is om ons te ondersteun, om ink te koop, printers te koop, laptops. Ons het 'n groot vaardighede, nie net in HP nie, maar ons het Samsung, ons het Toshiba, ons het Canon, ons het Raiso, Sharp. So, maar HP, as ons nog steeds gefokus ook op HP. En soos ek gesê het voorheen, die wêreld soek nou na verandering. Die petrol gaan op, maar hy gaan nog steeds op. Ons sien dit op 'n daglikse basis. En load shedding gaan nog steeds gebeur nog steeds, het ook ons lewe gekom effekteer. En ons steeds, die kospryse gaan op. En kyk, die government het probeer om vir ons, om die jeug te voorsien met R350. Die R350 kan net soveel doen. Maar kom ons kyk 'n bietjie verder. Hier kom South Bison. Met hierdie bietjie kommissie kan ons baie veranderinge nog steeds doen in ons eie lewens. En soos ek gesê het voorheen, ons leer nog steeds op ons daglikse basis leer ons. Of ons by die crashes, by die skole is, by die universiteit, klaar is met die universiteit, leer ons nog steeds. Want ons kan sê, nee, maar die printer is moeilik om die printer te verkoop. Hoe gaan ek die printer regmaak? Maar nog steeds, die opleiding is daar. En meeste van die opleiding is gratis. Jy word gesê, daar sertifisering wat jy gaan kry. Maar jy kan kies, wil jy net 'n bemarkingsagent is om die printer te verkoop. Daar's verskillende soorte opsies wat jy kan kies. Ons gee jy, South Bison gee jy geleentheid om te kies. En soos ek gesê het, toe ons babetjies was, het ons geleer om te kry. Ons het geleer om te praat. Ons het gestaan, ons het gefaal. Ons het geleer motors bestuur, ons het gedryf, ons het weer probeer. So, wat keer ons om nie hierdie geleentheid met altyd van ons hande aan te gryp nie? Kom ons, soos ek gesê het, kom ons wees die verandering wat ons wil sien. Daar is iemand wat 'n rekenaar nodig het. Daar is iemand wat 'n laptop nodig het, wat nou luister. Daar is 'n skool wat nie weet hoe om uit 'n sekere kontrak uit te kom nie. Maar hier kom South Bison, hulle het 'n oplossing vir u. Die jeugdiges wat geluister het, ek glo weer eens, julle gaan die geleentheid aangryp. Kom ons wag nie vir môre nie. Soos hulle sê, spyt is 'n goeie ding, maar dit kom te laat. Dit is Michael Oren verby. Who are we? South Bison.
Yeah.
You know what? I had to give Michael a round of applause. All right, okay. He just blew me away. One thing I really love about Michael is his level of energy and the excitement he has
Young
when he
people,
talks about
young
stuff.
people.
He's so in love with it. He's just taken. So thank you so much, Michael, for that. It was amazing. I quickly just want to go through a couple of messages on WhatsApp, on Facebook and WhatsApp. Before we hand over to you to tell us how does a young person actually get to be part of this great initiative right over here. So I see some South Bison fans over here, like it's all over on Facebook. Let me quickly start from the top. It's hashtag youth empowerment. That is from the page of South Bison Office Automation. Hashtag digital printers technology. Introducing a fourth industrial revolution. Hashtag South Bison Office Automation movers and shakers. I like that. Movers and shakers, let's go. Our fearless leader. Hashtag youth empowerment. That is from Sinclair. Is it Sinclair Granger. All right. Sinclair Granger, thank you so much. Movers and shakers. Hashtag is a hashtag all the way. How many hashtags do you guys have? Hashtag social impact business. Brendan says the shine, Madala shine, Granger as well. Thank you so much, Brendan. Sinclair comes through with saying, wish you all the best, Michael. Woof, woof, woof. I hope I said that right. Another message over here says, who are we? That is South Bison Office Automation. These messages keep on coming, oh my word. We are the best, South Bison. That is from Savannah Boo Boo. Cox, thank you so much. Savannah, change your life. All right, the young people have been impacted. It's so clear on this page. Another one here says, hello Nonku, can you please put the contact on Revival FM wall? We'll definitely share the contacts on our wall on Facebook. Right now we are currently live on Revival FM SA. Let me quickly check on my SMSs. Do I have anything there? Nothing as yet. All right, nothing as yet. We are still tuned into Revival FM. It's a lot that is happening right over here. We are currently on 11 minutes just before 5 o'clock. We are about to wrap up this particular interview. I'm captured. I am so interested because I keep on envisioning young people bringing solutions, to the old system and bringing in new system just by these skills being transferred. You don't know what you're doing, but you are changing lives. You are changing South Africa in a way that I have never seen such amazingness. You have captured my heart personally. I just love my
hashtag social impact business. So
most definitely.
It's definitely not about us. As I said, I'm a product of the system. I've been through obviously sponsored education, which opened my eyes. And I think it's the most untransformed area. So just to the young people out there, there's a couple of access points. The first access point would be for you to register with us. And normally what we do with the registration, we capture your details. So you become one of our community. You join a broader community. We're also setting up regional communities. We've got in Mpumalanga, Northwest, we'll be setting up via Michael for the Northern Cape. So Michael will be heading up a WhatsApp group. So get yourself added on there. On there, we'll have our marketing and training executive that will then do blast emails on the access points in terms of registration. So we're not dealing with individual registration, we're dealing with the collective.
Yes. All right.
Right, so you get in there, you might have a passion for fixing things, maybe not very educated, you failed your matric, no problem. If you can touch and feel, we show you how to take this thing apart. If you fall in love with it, it means that if you place one, you sort it, you can look after it, you can get income. That's your first cash cow that gives you cash as long as it runs. So young people, it sounds great, but it's a learning community, right? So it's okay to have a problem, but we learn from that problem. So you might be technically inclined, so that would be one area you would go. But normally HP University Access, we normally give it once we've done either a youth camp or we've done an induction. So when you get onto that platform, you get a student number, and it's all self-paced learning. The pass rate is 70%, and you move forward. If you fail, you can go back and go back and go back until you pass. Right.
Okay.
So the first one will be for that person that's saying, well, I want to get the skill. I need to get the skill so I can practice it. So we don't do theory only. We do a practical, and we do the theory side on HP University just to sort that for certification. Or you might be a young person saying, I need to make a lot of cash now. I need the money. Okay, great. I think that's 90% of the people. So what you would do, you've got two products you can sell. The first one is devices, HP printers. The way that would go is we'd look at existing infrastructure. We'd introduce higher speeds, more functionality, all this type of thing as a replacement and upgrade. That's the first opportunity. So you could go around just selling machines and saying, well, I'll sell the machine, get my cash. But what you've done by selling, you've created opportunity for some local person there. So if you're sitting here and you've got relatives in rural area, blow the horn, because they're struggling, and there's young people out there. You could easily place a machine out there. The logistics of delivery sits with South Bison. We don't charge the delivery fees. We make sure the customer gets the machine, if it's available in stock, within a couple of days. So we understand that urgency. So you might just be a marketer of machines. I want to sell machines. You walk into an internet cafe, you say, oh, that's old technology. Look at my catalog. Think about it, right? So you could be that person. You could also be a person that's very active on social media. And I'd encourage young people. A lot's happening on social media as compared to conventional business. So we have a website with very low traffic, but we have a Facebook following that's growing on the hour. So we're saying to young people, if you have a big following, yeah, and you post what you post, you spend your time on there, all of it not income generating, definitely. You decide, let me plug this marketing material I have from South Bison, let me put it out there, let's see who does it. And you've got 5,000 hits. And the biggest success in terms of that is a lady from, if you heard the voice note early on, she's on Facebook with over 4,000 or 5,000 followers. She posts this cartridge flyer, because we do all sorts. From the blue, one of her followers, he's got a tender to supply some government department with these products. And we work it out. She gets the order. The order is about 94,000 Rand. Our commission is 17,000 Rand. And he says, well, we supply this bi-monthly. Yeah, that's one customer.
Sure.
So guys, go get them. That's what I'm saying. Go get them. You got enough. Okay, so that's the other side. We're also looking at opportunities in Africa, because what's happening is US companies open up mines in Africa. And in Africa, let's talk about DRC, no HP support at all.
Sure.
And I'm saying, young people, if you want to be on the move, get the skill. We can only send HP certified technicians to sort the problem. So get your certification and let's move to the next level.
Sure.
So the opportunities are multifaceted. And we're encouraging young people to say, listen, just look at this thing. It's going to cost you nothing. It'll cost you data initially. And there's ways around that. But if you have data and you're on social media and you can start pushing this around, there's marketplaces, all these places, you'll quickly see that the interest in this product is quite high.
Sure.
Cost is an issue. And we don't have a set price list. We're always out to beat the price the customer's paying.
Sure.
Straightforward. So we don't waste anybody's time. Straightforward. And the benefit of that is that young person is guaranteed out of income, because if we can beat the price, they're going to order, he's going to get money now. So we don't work with a lot of employees. We have the head office team that are there to support our dealers. So they're independent distributors and dealers, and they get their cash on sale of the product. So once the customer's paid, it's cleared, they get a payment. So you may get 4 or 5 payments in a month, depending on his activity. So the example of Lerato is one that says, well, if I'm out there on social media and I can get 20 customers doing this type of thing, do I really need a job? I don't think so. So we're saying to young people, I think a job is old school. Definitely. I've worked for many years in corporate, and all of a sudden I'm doing this thing. I've got my freedom, my independence, and I'm impacting people directly. Sure. In line with what the government's objective is. So we're here not to say government's doing a bad job. I think they're doing the best they can, but they cannot do it alone. We're partnering with them, and we're partnering with young people. It's all about that. So the access point would be to, we would like to have a Northern Cape Youth Camp, definitely so. We've spoken to some role players. They're prepared to give us a venue, and we're prepared to mobilize young people to look at this technology. Sure. And we showcase it. It might not be for everybody, but I think it's a good opportunity in the technology space for IR. Yeah.
Thank you
Great.
so much. Thank you very much, Mr. Alec. That is the founder, the CEO of South Bison Office Automation. I'm thinking ahead of myself right now, and I don't want to do that. Let me quickly just go through a couple of messages. Someone says, "Hi Primrose, what is their website's name?" Thanks, Lesedi. May you kindly share the website?
www.southbisonautomation.co.za.
All right, it's as straightforward as that. If you have forgotten it, when I find time, as I'm saying, I'm about to say goodbye to them, we will definitely share that on your WhatsApp. Make sure if you've missed this interview, you just caught it now, you can still catch up on Facebook. Just go to our Facebook page, Revival FM SA, and get yourself blown out of this world. I'm thinking about my cousin. I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about so many people, and I have so many people in KZN that would really love this initiative. So I'm going to do what I can do, and let's get the pots done. Young people, let's go get them. I like that.
Go get 'em.
They say woof, woof. Why do you say woof?
Who are we?
South Bison.
Who are we?
South Bison.
Bison!
Bison.
Bison!
Bison.
Just
I
recap
love
our
the
contact
passion.
details.
I love it.
Some in English as well, so that the listeners can get the numbers there.
No problem. I tried catching them in English. Not in English.
In Afrikaans.
I tried writing the numbers down. I caught the WhatsApp number. Let me quickly say it. That is for the registration, right? When you want to do the registration, that's your number. So if you are in the Northern Cape and you are very much interested, the first way you can actually get through to this, please make sure that you get registered so that you are captured. Your details are actually captured. And from there, I believe that you will be taken through the process in terms of what needs to be done and where goes where. We can't share everything right now, but we will definitely leave the numbers. And the number that you need to send your message to on WhatsApp is 072 157 2681. Ja, no, I can Afrikaans.
Dat ken Afrikaans,
They
man.
can Afrikaans. And the number for the Northern Cape, therefore, is 072 157 2681, and then you will be talking to Michael, who is the one that is running this initiative right here in the Northern Cape. And there is a camp that is coming through, that is in the pipeline, so the details, I believe, in due time will be shared. Do not miss this opportunity. Remember, you do not need a matric certificate, and by saying that, we are also not saying don't go and pursue it. Continue to pursue, but also acquire the skill that can make you a great, so that you stop sniffing the other thing, the white powder. Get the other powder. Get the other powder. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming through. This has been a very, very amazing interview, and trust me, this is going very far, further than you have seen it this far. And all the young people that are part of it, that can actually take it very seriously. You don't know what you can become, and you don't know what solutions you can come up with as you are fixing the machine, as you're putting that there together. You don't know what you can think of at that point in time. Ideas can really spring from that. Gentlemen, any last remarks from you as we conclude this interview?
Just to say thank you for the opportunity. We appreciate this platform. We think it's a fantastic platform powered by Jesus Christ. We definitely Christians at heart, and we appreciate the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the CEO, Mr. Alec, and Mr. Bruce. Anything from you?
Thanks, guys. As you go out there, of course, these machines are fantastic machines. You print a config report, it tells you all the activities. It's like a car. How many kilometers have you driven this month? It can tell you how many pages it has actually done for that month. So when you get to a school, find out, sir, for this, how many boxes of bond paper do you use in a term? They'll tell you, we use 50. So one box of bond paper has 2,500 pages in there. So 2,500 multiplied by 50, you'll get figure X. So that figure X, a lot of the established corporates in the printer industry are charging schools 1 Rand 20, 1 Rand 40, 1 Rand 50, so 80 Rand. Now with HP machines, you're printing at 10 cents a copy, you're printing at 12 cents. So if you look at the cost saving, normally that will blow the principal off his seat, and he'll definitely run to you for machines. So yeah, that was just a quick statement just to open your eyes and understanding of how this whole thing works. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bruce. So Michael, any last remarks from you? Thank you so much, Michael. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you,
Gentlemen, thank you very much. And all the best, and we will definitely be in touch. We will definitely be in touch, and I'm taken. Have a blessed day further. May the good Lord bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Can I give you the other
And
number?
pardon?
Oh, the other number.
Or then the 011.
No, if there's another one, 063 WhatsApp.
Or should I add it to this
Yes,
one?
okay.
Okay, it's 063
15
063 1
5
uh-huh
75
75
yeah 784.
784. This is the other WhatsApp number.
Yes, yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Michael.
Pleasure.
May the good Lord bless you. Sound
Thank
of
you.
note, and that is how we wrap up this particular interview. It is 1 minute just after 5 o'clock. Whew. Yeah, I'm blown away and I'm taken and I'm loving it for us, the young people. They say, young people, let's go get them. This is South Bison Office Automation. They were in the studio with the founder, Mr. Alec, and the technical support, which is Mr. Bruce and Michael, one of the young people who are already on the ground and who is the leader in the Northern Cape. So if you want to be part of this great initiative and if you want to get hold of them and see how you go about it, please do contact these numbers, WhatsApp them, and they will take you through the process by capturing your details, and the rest will follow. So the first number that you can get hold of is 072 157 2681. That is 072 157 2681. Or you can use this number, that is 063 157 5784. 063 157 5784. And all the best to each and every young person that is already and that is about to be part of this great initiative, and to those who are going to be coming up with the awesome ideas birthed by this initiative, all the best to you. I cannot wait to see how the future looks from where I'm sitting. You gotta be loving it. Young people, go and get them. Let us quickly just play you some great sounds, because I have been having a lot of talk this afternoon, but it's been amazing and it's been great. Right now it's 3 minutes just after 5 o'clock, and remember that at 6 o'clock I'm going to be saying goodbye to you and handing it over to Iron Sharpen Iron. For now, let us quickly play some great sounds. Please do enjoy, and we will be back.